What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 86 of the Rip City Rundown podcast, brought to you by MyBookie. We are back. Cody's back for the final episode before the NBA draft. Of course, before we get into it, I want to thank MyBookie for sponsoring this video. The playoffs are over, but the draft, as you know, is on Thursday, and you can go in and bet who's going what pick on MyBookie. Currently, Scoot Henderson is minus 150 to go number 2 to the Charlotte Hornets. And he's plus money to go 3 to whether if that's the Blazers or just 3 to another team. Do you think Scoot goes 3? Do you think he goes 2? You can go bet that on MyBookie and use code RIPCITY for a welcome bonus up to $1,000. So make sure to use code RIPCITY. MyBookie, link in the description, link actually the top comment in the comment section as well. Like I said, Cody is back and he is ready to talk some Blazers basketball. We've got so many rumors to talk about that we got bombarded this morning with like 10 different headlines all around the Blazers. So we got a lot to talk about, Cody.
Yep. Good time to record a podcast. Just first of all, what's up, guys? Thrilled to be back in the pod. Thrilled to be back in Portland, Oregon, my hometown for the summer, to crank some Blazer content with you guys. It's going to be a great summer. Like you said, a lot to talk about. I'd like to first of all say, I feel like in our last maybe 7 videos, we've always had this notion that Scoot Henderson would go to us as the third pick, but now you're saying it's a minus 150 that he's going to the Hornets. So that's, switches up a lot of things and our main just perspective on the whole situation. So it's going to be interesting to see where he falls. Bet with MyBookie, promo code RIPCITY. I don't know if you said that, but
say it, baby. Well, I would like to say hello, Cody. I didn't ask you at all, but school finish well?
Yes, school finish.
Okay.
Maybe not the grades part, but we don't need to talk about that.
Hey, but you got across the finish line.
Yeah, I did.
And you actually have a hard major, unlike me. I was business major. So that's a good jumping off point, I feel like, is the draft is Thursday. It's been
Will we be streaming
how long has
on
it
Thursday?
been since
Will we be streaming on Thursday?
Streaming.
We will be streaming.
We will
be streaming.
You want to talk about that?
We will be streaming at 5 o'clock Pacific time, as of course when the draft starts, us 3 will be reacting to what the Blazers do. We continue to say biggest night of the Blazers offseason, biggest night probably when it comes to player trading new players of our lifetime as a Blazer fan. Is that a hot take?
I think that's fair. I think that those 5 minutes when the Blazers are on the clock, if a deal has not been struck by then, that is going to be some of the most nerve-wracking 5 minutes of my fandom. Obviously when you're watching games, it's probably much more nerve-wracking, but in terms of acquiring players, this is the first time that it seems like there's real momentum to getting a top player in this league. And the names from Twitter keep flying, and the Blazers are at the center of the offseason kind of right now. A lot of it is for first take and people saying Dame needs to leave. But as I wrote in my article, that happens every year. And Blazer fans should not be worried about that because that's just something the media does. But it feels good to be at the center of the media universe right now, even though, the media is negative when you usually. But small market team, Dame, feels good right now. Feels good.
Yeah, by the way, before we get into it, I will go ahead. Go also click the link in the description to go check out our most recent articles. West wrote about why the draft is the most important night of the offseason and, like we mentioned, possibly of our lifetime. And he also talked about the Dame rumors.
And franchise history.
And he also talked about the Dame rumors and just why don't they stop. I think they're very quality articles, so go check that out on ripcityrundown.com. But we're going to jump into it. We're kind of gonna, do we want to format this go kind of player by player, team by team on just the different rumors? I'm gonna go back to you, West. Just where do you want to start? Because there's so many different directions we could go with this.
I think the place we should start is I think we should pick a player, and I have a player in mind. We talked a lot about him on the last podcast, but I'd like to get Cody's thoughts on this guy. Let's talk about Zion Williamson first. We talked a lot about him last podcast. Let's talk about it, as we like to say. Obviously, and there's news that you just dropped to us, Cole, right before the pod that I'll let you talk about. But first, Cody, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on Zion as a player? Obviously, there's been the jokes of him being overweight and maybe health concerns. Is he someone that is worth taking a look at if you're a Blazer fan?
Oh yeah, he's definitely a player worth taking a look at. I mean, when you average 28 points in your third year of an NBA and are built like him and can dunk on probably a 12-foot rim if he wanted to at his weight, that's insane. So I watched your guys' last podcast and Zion video, and I liked both your sides of the argument. A little, I mean, I'm looking at his defensive rating. It's actually not as bad as
Really?
I thought it'd be. It was like 113, which isn't awful. I mean, Dame and Simons were both over 120. By the way, a low defensive rating is good, just for those of you guys that don't know. But it'd be a really interesting move. It'd be crazy. I think from everything that I've seen about Zion, I feel like if we got Zion, it's not necessarily forcing it because obviously I'll take it, but I feel like Zion to succeed needs to be the primary scorer, in my opinion. I think putting next to Damian Lillard, who's also a 30-point scorer, in a way could be possibly too much offense because I feel like most of these players that we have looked at, the 7 players that we've been viewing this past 2 months, bring, I guess, less offense and more in other aspects that this team needs. But I think we should definitely look at it. But from a general point of view, I'm not the biggest fan, I'll say.
Okay.
I'm not the
Now,
biggest fan.
last podcast, I was kind of in the same boat, at least when you're comparing him to Brandon Ingram. And I want to not make an apology because I still think Brandon Ingram's a great player, but I was making the case I would rather have Brandon Ingram over Zion. I think I'm flipping sides here. I think I'd rather have Zion at this point. I thought about it after the podcast. We talked about it, Cole, off screen, and even just kind of reading different people's opinions about it. It opened my eyes to just how talented this guy is offensively. And when I view Zion, I view him as injury prone, maybe a little overweight, maybe a little one dimensional when it comes to scoring. But it's probably the most dominant one dimension in the league.
Mhm.
I compared him to Zion in a way when Zion gets going like downhill, you're not stopping him. Like the only thing that's stopping Zion, the only thing that's stopping Giannis right now is the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
And for Zion, it's the same thing. When Zion gets 2 feet in the paint, he's scoring. And a Dame and Zion pick and roll. We've talked about it.
Mhm.
Dame's one of the best
Yeah.
pick and roll ball handlers, point guards in the league. You could argue all time. You can make that argument. That's not a biased Blazer fan opinion. That's a legit argument. I do get what you're saying, Cody. Though it feels a little awkward when you look at I'm worried that Zion could turn, and I said this on the last podcast, turn into obviously a much better version, but kind of like relegated to an Aaron Gordon type role in the playoffs where he's just kind of your safety valve, like dunker spot guy. Cause I don't think Zion really has a package where he can get on offensively, where he can get on the perimeter and like cook guys. Like he has to be set. He has to be set up, which Dame can do. So, I don't have the answers. I'm just speaking out loud right now, honestly.
And the injuries, that's also a thing I completely forgot. Especially if you could put that Blazer uniform on, you're in trouble if you're already injury prone. So
now, Cole, you are kind of the guy who is plugged in the most with Twitter and Instagram, like social media, with what people are saying. You said something about Scoot with New Orleans, which is very interesting. Just kind of tell me where the league is with this and where the Pelicans are with this.
And honestly, before you go, how much would we have to, I guess, give up if we were going to go down this route?
Okay, so
go ahead, teacher.
Zion is obviously, like you said, the biggest probably boom or bust you would have with the Blazers. He has MVP qualities and top 5 player potential. He's also 22, so you're almost still keeping that young timeline while winning now. Like that's you can walk the line with that. And it seems like Dame is pro Zion because I thought this was fake, but it's true. Dame liked a tweet saying Portland's got to get Zion. And I know that's like, but Dame doesn't just like a bunch of tweets. That's obviously Dame sending a little bit of a message. Kevin O'Connor says that the Blazers value Zion over BI. And then just recently, Chris Haynes, who is a source you can trust a lot when it comes to Blazer news and anything related to the Blazers, and then just in general, because one thing we need to get into is we need to make sure we are checking our sources on all of these because someone came out saying Dame is not happy in Portland, but then Shams just puts him in a body bag and says Dame is happy in Portland. They just have to make a move. So,
but we don't like Shams.
Yeah, Shams is a little shaky for us. But basically, Chris Haynes said that not only does New Orleans want Scoot, but Scoot wants to be in New Orleans. And of
Which is
course, this
interesting
is
to me.
all predicated on what the Hornets do. They literally control the Blazers' destiny in a way
We
because
need them to draft.
obviously more people are in the camp that Scoots over Brandon Miller, but obviously there's some teams that say Brandon Miller's over Scoot. It could be the Hornets because there's recent reports now again saying that Brandon Miller is on the top of their board. And the final thing that Chris Haynes says, I know I'm going all over the place here, but there's just so much information that we're going to throw you guys in this podcast. Chris Haynes said Zion is actually available. This isn't like just fantasy land people throwing out just because he's the best player on their team. Zion's available. And they just fired his favorite coach, their
I was going to
assistant
say
coach,
that.
which is
And
very interesting.
and someone with some tapes with Zion threatened to basically said if Zion doesn't get traded, I'm gonna probably release the tapes. That's probably a joke, and we hope that's a joke because that's actually illegal. But any fun that's a
That's
funny
another
side.
problem. That's hey,
Basically,
that's
Zion could be on the move, in other words. Yeah, like you said, it all depends on what Charlotte does. It's just if you're comparing Scoot and Brandon, I feel like everyone knows from the deep down that Scoot's a better player and the higher prospect, but
Right.
from a team constructive standpoint, if we were to draft one, obviously I think Brandon Miller would be the better just fit for this team. But
Beeman
from
Thompson
pure
too.
just
Talk about that.
but from pure just trading value, I think we better be praying Thursday that Charlotte drafts Brandon Miller because I think that would put the Blazers in a better position at the end of the day.
One thing that was interesting to me that I was just kind of reading about Scoot Brandon Miller, and I was reading a lot of just Cole. You mentioned check your sources when it comes to information. So what I like to do is I like to listen and read a lot from the local Portland media because while they are biased towards Blazer fans, I do think the Blazer local media has never been the type to do what Lakers media does and be like, oh yeah, we're going to trade Austin Reeves and a bag of chips for Dame. Like, obviously you're not. Like, Portland doesn't really do it. I mean, sure, you could say that certain players have no chance of being in Portland and they do that. However,
speaking of the Lakers rumors, we were just listening. We were talking and listening to our old podcast, the first one actually with all three of us in it, and you said in it, Lakers fans, Dame's not coming to LA. They don't want Taylor Horton Tucker, and we don't even want Kyle Kuzma. It was just hilarious that we're literally talking about the same thing. And we were also talking
I might
about
have bad takes.
We were talking about how the Blazers need to make a splash. And 2 years later, here we are.
But basically what I read about Scoot and Brandon Miller when it comes to just their builds, Scoot's pretty small. Scoot is small. He says 6'4". I've heard that he's shorter than that. I have heard that Brandon Miller to me, Brandon Miller's the X factor in this because honestly, there's just not a lot of news going around with him. You said from a team constructive standpoint, Cody, the Blazers are better off drafting Brandon Miller. I think Charlotte is too. They have LaMelo already there. Like,
probably
you don't really need Scoot. Now, they talk about this in the NFL draft a lot. Are you taking the best fit or just best available? And I think that's the question Charlotte's going to have to ask themselves. If I was betting money, I still think they take Brandon Miller. I think
really
you could say everything's a smokescreen, but I do think they're trying to kind of hide what they're doing, as with the Blazers are too. The Blazers are doing the same thing. There's been reports that Joe Cronin and the Blazers are very happy to keep the pick. They place immense value on the number 3 pick, which is obviously behind closed doors. True. Well, they're just trying to show teams that they covet this pick and this pick has value. Like, you got to control the information at this point.
I will say last year at this time, everyone was saying it was Jabari Smith going number 1 to the Magic. And then an hour before the draft, everything changed and it was Paolo. So
you're saying Wemby goes 3?
All I'm saying is, did you see Wemby throw out the first pitch at the Yankees game? It was so bad that
let's just say that was a ball.
It could warrant he should probably drop to 3, honestly. Just saying.
You see that baseball in his hand?
No, yeah, it was kind of insane.
Basically, if you bet $50 on my bookie for Victor to go 1, you'll get like 10 cents. So if you want to risk $50, there you go. But yeah,
10 cents. That's a dumb way to bet. But sorry, we're getting off track. Let me go back to Zion because this is who we first talked about. Package wise, what does this look like?
So what are we looking at?
The way I look at it is, given it's the salary, you have to include probably Simons, but I would say Scoot and Zion at this point, especially in the Pelicans' eyes, have the same value. So if we could, I bet the Pelicans would possibly accept, in a world that they're trading Zion, would accept straight up 3 if it's Scoot for Zion, but financially that can't go through. It has to be Simons. So it's Simons and Scoot. They would probably reroute Simons to a third team. We would bring back Zion, and we would have to ask for someone else. That could be an example of the Blazers are looking for a massive deal because we need Herb Jones. We need Trey Murphy or something like that. Or we need a third team to get involved to say we trade 3 to New Orleans, then we reroute Simons to, say,
Miami,
and we get Bam Adebayo.
And Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, one of them are going to Miami.
Like,
nope.
That's not happening. But the point Cole's trying to illustrate is third.
We'll get someone more than just Zion if we were to trade for him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
which might sound crazy.
In that deal.
It maybe is, but I just don't see a world where we accept a Simons and Scoot for just Zion, because again, we're trying to get significantly better this offseason.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to just add quickly is I've just seen people say this a lot, and it's that Zion makes you a bona fide playoff team, doesn't make you a top contender. And I think the Blazers, while yes, that's important, I don't think you can just jump from lottery number 3 pick to best team in the league in 1 year with one offseason. I don't want Blazer fans to get hung up on the fact that we're not being the best team in the league, and instead just appreciate the fact that we're actually about to take a swing. Neil Olshey stood there in the batter's box and looked at 3 strikes, and he struck out.
Yep.
He just
what an analogy.
And now Joe.
Dude, and they were right down the pipe too.
And they were right down the pipe. I mean,
what's Joe doing in the box? What's Joe doing in the box?
For CJ, straight up fastball. Just watch it go by.
Joe's waiting for that hanging curveball to pull and hit 400 feet.
Hey, Joe right now, Joe is playing on that 2017 Astros team. He just heard the trash can. It's a fastball, and he's about to crush it.
I hope he crushes it. I mean, I just hope what happens this year doesn't happen last year, because last year I was like so confident we were going to trade the pick. Sure, we got Jeremy Grant, which was a big target for us that last offseason, but I was like so confident we were going to trade the pick. And then I'm not going to say we got stuck with Sharp, because Sharp is amazing, and I'm so happy that everything that's happened related to Sharp has happened. But I'm just going to tell you guys something. Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson, Damian Lillard, that's not a playoff team.
No, and to people who just listen to my analogy and now are going to defend Neil Olshey, and no, Robert Covington was not a swing. That was a sack bunt, okay? Robert Covington.
Even though in hindsight, if you look back at my reaction, you'll think it was a grand slam.
It was those were sack bunts.
But I think in this scenario, Dame's putting a little more pressure on the front office, that the front office knows that if you take Scoot, and even if you probably take Brandon Miller, that Dame is probably going to ask out. And I don't think Joe Cronin wants to be known as the guy that has Dame ask out.
I agree, but I think this could be the pessimist in me talking, or at least this could be me putting on my non-Blazer glasses here. I feel like teams are going to jump on that and see the Blazers as desperate to make a deal, and then just like try to like do what Masai's doing. Now Masai's just doing that. Masai's just doing that because he thinks he's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's why I think Zion is a very interesting thing, because I think Pelicans are also a tad desperate because they clearly really want Scoot. But that's a lot about Zion. We've got a lot more to go through. Then we can kind of wrap it, but back up.
Okay, fine. Let's jump into a player that's not going to happen, but boy, would he look good in the Blazers uniform. That is BA.
Yes, Jake Fisher, a reliable source, says that the Blazers are trying to make up a compelling offer for Bam Adebayo, who Dame has said in the past is his boy, and he said he would want to play in Miami if he left Portland. However, at the end of that article, Jake Fisher says that Miami would want a starting offer of Simon Sharp in 3, and that's an instant. I'm hanging up the phone.
Yeah, that's a little heavy.
But let's just not no
the third.
Let's go no package. Let's just talk Bam Adebayo as a whole.
All right.
Is that a guy that you would look at and say that's a huge addition this offseason?
Yes. I think he's better than Nurk by a decent amount, but not like an astronomical amount. I mean, you saw what Jokic did to Bam. I mean, that wasn't.
Jokic probably does that to everybody,
that's
though.
The MVP.
I guess so. So he's 6'9". He's like undersized center.
That's a little sus. That's
this could be a bad take. I think Bam is the closest thing to AD.
I think he's like a skinnier version of AD.
That's why I
smaller.
said
I would say he's more so. This could be a crazy take because no one's close to him, but he's the closest to Jokic because I think he's the most athletic center and he can make plays.
Jokic is athletic?
Jokic is athletic.
I mean, Jokic kind of is athletic.
But compared to
athletic was the wrong word. More like creative, able to play make, able to dribble. He's not stuck in the post. He's not shooting threes, but like he can drive past the center. I mean, we saw it in the playoffs. He played really well against Jokic in the finals, offensively at least.
Yeah, Bam would be an upgrade. I'll say it. Bam will be an upgrade. But if you're trading our whole future for that, that's a hang up the phone. I think. Okay, what about just Simons in the third? Would you at least think about it?
I don't think they do that.
I don't think we do that either. I think if we're doing Simons in the third, you got to either get Bam plus another player on that team, or
I mean that's a point.
I don't know.
It's a risk-taking decision. That's what you got to do.
I think it's obvious Bam would be an upgrade, but my only hesitancy is the 6'9" thing because you already have Jeremy Grant probably starting at the 4, so I'm not sure how good of a rebounder Bam is. I'm not saying you have to go out and get a crazy rebounder. That's the least of the concerns. The main concern is, are you shelling out your biggest assets for just Bam? Because
and
as much as we dog on Nurk, I think we can agree that it's probably more important to get a upgrade at the 3. Is that unless it's Embiid at center? I don't think Bam's
one right now. We don't have a 3.
Yeah, we don't.
Right now, the starting 3 would probably be Thibault, maybe.
Yeah.
Reddish. That's bad. So, I think one thing, Cody, that you said, maybe you said it, Cole, I don't remember, but just the number 3 pick in Simons, I feel like, at least personally, I've been thinking that that's just like not as much as I would think. And then I forget that Anthony Simons is probably one of the most coveted young players in the league. One of the best 3-point shooters in the league, averages mid-20s, and he's 23, 24.
On a pretty good contract.
On a decent contract.
In a couple of years.
But look, I would love Bam. I'm a big Bam guy. I think Bam is a top 5 center. I don't want to play the game, but
at this point.
Oh, please. He's better than Big Purr.
Is he third at this point? He's better than Gobert now, and it was always Gobert and Cat in the top 5.
I mean, the one center.
Who?
AD.
Davis, yeah.
If AD's a center, then yeah, AD's better. But
there's a big difference after those 3 then.
Yeah,
but
he's good. He's making $32 million, so I think you actually could squeeze out a Nurk, Nasir, and a pick. Maybe you somehow unlock the picks and go 2 first and still keep 3 for another move. I don't know. It's
better than 8.
I don't think the Heat have any business accepting a trade that doesn't give them like
they don't.
They will only accept crazy
trade. I'll say. This is what I'll say. Defense is, I think, defense wins championships. Defense is more important than offense, kind of in a vacuum. But the Heat didn't win because they had no offense. That was why they didn't win.
The Heat were actually the worst offensive team in the whole NBA, and they made the finals. So that just shows how good their defense was.
Yes. If the Heat, I get Bam is the fulcrum of that defense, but if you just look, Yoke was going to cook regardless. So you could have thrown feed Cody Zeller to the Wolves, and it probably wouldn't have changed Jokic's output. It might have, but not the Nuggets' team output. Mm-hmm. You put Simons on that team, bro, they might win just because of the offensive firepower he has.
That's a true. I think I don't want to say because you want to keep everything you have. You want to keep your values. You want to keep everything that makes your team super valuable. But if you do give up Simons and take this risk, I mean, I feel like we're still in a solid place even for our future because we just have that many great young pieces. Like let's say Simons does go, like you're still gonna have a pick, not for the Bam deal, but I'm just saying if we do trade Simons for something, we're still gonna have a third pick, which is gonna be Scoot or Brandon and Shaden Sharp. Still, like I don't want to like be like, okay, we have so much money here, take our money, be rich, poor spending. You don't want that to happen. But I'm just saying, like, we are rich, I guess, when it comes to young assets, and like we can cough up a really good player and still have a solid future.
I'm saying we're doing all these trade talks without ever putting Sharp in any of these.
And the reason why Simons is the one who's in it is just for money purposes because he's making the money that you can match salary with.
Yeah, to everyone saying that like, we're blowing up our future if we do this. If we trade Sharp too, then sure, you can say that. It still could be a good thing.
Okay, people. Okay, for the
keeping our most valuable asset. You think Sharp's as good as he is?
By making a deal, we're keeping our most valuable asset, which is Damian Lillard. So for all the people who's saying we're gonna sell the future, if it's to keep Dame here, then duh. Like those are the same people who would be like, don't sell the future, keep the pick. We draft the pick, Dame leaves. Why'd you let Dame leave? Like those are the people those are the five heads.
Yeah, there were a lot of comments. I mean, there's always people like this, but there were a lot of people hating on us defending Damian Lillard. And to those people, I just I don't know what to say. I mean,
hey, don't. No bad words, Cody. I know you're about to. I know you're about to just go for it.
No, I'm not gonna just go for it. But I'm gonna stay behind the same thing I always say. Trading Damian Lillard, you're also just if you do that, like sure, I understand your guys' side of the story, but you're also just making Portland already like from a poverty franchise to an even more poverty franchise. Like players aren't even want to come here even more. Like every player in the NBA is looking at Portland as okay, at least they have Damian Lillard and are willing to
that's the only reason
try every year. At least they're willing to at least try every year with him and Damian Lillard. But if you trade him, doing what Dame doesn't want to, then you're not putting a good name on Portland, in my opinion. And that's gonna honestly, I think, in the future hurt you. And obviously you can go down the line of we're not even guaranteed to be good if we trade Dame for someone, which is also true. And you're forgetting the fact just right in the front of your face that Damian Lillard is the best player this franchise has ever had, and he's in his prime.
Look.
So, yeah.
I'll make another
point is these guys don't stay in Portland that long. LaMarcus didn't do it. Clyde didn't do it. Who's saying Sharp's going to do it? Who's saying Scoot's going to do it? Dame's the only guy that's actually stayed in Portland this long, so that's another
analogy.
Another analogy.
Just a quick analogy when it comes to that, Cody, is think about it like when you're building a team, it's like a puzzle, okay? And in order for what? Actually, no, it's not even a puzzle. In order to build a house, say you want to build a house, you need foundations, okay? Dame, we found him. He's a foundation, okay? And you need concrete. You need the material for that. We have not found that second foundation because Neil Olshey decided to hide all the mats.
No way, you just did a Fortnite reference.
He hides all the material. Okay.
He hides all the mats.
And Joe Cronin is accumulating materials. He's accumulating assets so he can go get that second foundation. Okay. Look, I know
assets. We can go get a gold scar.
Sure, if you want to say it like that.
Okay.
The question is Joe Cronin going to build, or is he going to be like me?
Okay. Off the Fortnite. Something that's interesting is back to this whole Dame thing. There's no saying he's gonna get a haul if you do trade him. And we saw this with Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal just got traded. It is a similar situation. I cannot believe people are saying it's not a similar situation. You're telling me if we traded Dame that
they're not on the same planet, bro.
They're not, but actually, in the eyes of people that are
in the eyes of fans, sure, but the fans are on the GMs.
I don't think Dame's getting a crazy haul if you do trade him. You're trading him to whoever he wants to, so he practically has a no trade clause right now. And even if it was a better offer, they didn't get a first round pick. They got seconds and an expiring 38-year-old CP0 rings and Landry Shamet. The Blazers would get a
I
better
think
offer
Beal.
than that, but it's not like it would change the franchise.
It's a good. I think it's an okay comparison. Like Bradley Beal is also a guard. Like okay, West is not like this. It's a guard like Dame who makes a hefty amount of cash in a place where he's not going to win. He gets traded to the Suns, and that would be like probably Dame getting traded to the Heat, and we would be like the Wizards in that situation, getting. But yeah, you're right. I actually
Like, what would we get if we traded Dame anyway?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
These aren't my thoughts. The only other Blazer podcast I watch is Jack Ramsey's, and I'm going to echo their thoughts here. So they said that people only view Dame and Beal in the same category because they just lazily just lump them together because they're both guards who stayed loyal to a small market team and make a lot of money. But they're not even close on Beal's made one All-NBA team and Dame's made 7.
I agree with that, but all I'm saying is,
so why are we saying Dame's getting a similar package? He would get way more, and
but
also
he
because
get anything worth that's Damian Lillard.
What?
He wouldn't get anything like the people saying we would get a haul. We would not get a haul for Damian Lillard, even if it's a better package. Turn those picks to first. Say 2 first-round picks instead of 2 seconds.
What is a haul to you? Like 5 firsts?
I mean a haul like I want something to build around. I want what they traded for KD. I want or a little less than that, obviously. I don't want Tyler Hero because I don't think Tyler Hero is a guy you can build your franchise around. If you're trading your franchise piece, you're getting a young guy that you build the franchise around.
So is Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, 3 firsts and 3 pick swaps a haul?
I personally don't think so. That's my opinion.
Okay. Well, then maybe we just have to define what a haul is because, listen, you can't just base a haul what Big Booty Rudy got. That was just dumb by the Timberwolves. Like Embiid's going to get a haul. KD got a haul. LeBron would get a haul. Steph would get a haul. Giannis would get a haul. Those are top 5 players in the league. So obviously,
can you compare Dame to maybe like a lesser version of Anthony Davis when he got traded? And they got Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, the 4th overall pick, and like 2 more picks.
I think that's a haul.
I know, but I don't think we're getting that.
Why?
Because first off, the teams we would trade Dame to were obviously it's his choice at the end of the day. He would get to pick where he would want to go. And all reports, he said he would want to go to Miami or he would want to go to Brooklyn. He wouldn't want to go to Boston, he said. There's nothing like if I'm trading him to Brooklyn, what guy are you getting back? And this whole thing that like I don't think first-round picks are that valuable because
okay, well then you're right. If first-round picks aren't valuable to you, then he's not getting a haul.
I just my whole point was the people that the main reason we should trade Dame is because he's at the peak of his prime and we would get so much in return that would jumpstart our rebuild. I just don't think that's a valid reason to trade him.
I think if we traded Dame, I think we would get a young player that has all-star potential. I think we would get a couple bench players who can actually play basketball in the NBA, and I think we'd get at least 4 first-round picks.
That's what we would get way more.
And if that's not the case, then I think the Blazers have Dame has the leverage, but like the Blazers aren't obligated here to just be like, oh, Dame, you want to go to Miami? Please, can you give us back Omer Yurtseven? Please.
I think the Blazers would have, if the Blazers had to trade Dame, I don't think they would have any leverage at all. Because again, like we have to act like Dame has a no trade clause. Because we're not trading him, even if the Pacers have a better offer. We're doing him right because that's what we would do.
Yeah, but at the same time, you also have to. I mean, you're doing him right by getting him out. That doesn't mean you just take the first deal. Like they're not just going to be like, Dame, you want to okay, Miami, whatever your deal is, we accept because we want to do Dame right. They're going to
be like the Jets with Aaron Rodgers. Like they didn't have to trade him to the Jets, but Aaron Rodgers said, "I want to play for the Jets," and they did him right by trading him to the Jets.
Okay, well, I think that. Okay, I think I already said it. I think Tyler Hero plus 2 more competent players and a bunch of picks and pick swaps is a haul. I think that's a haul.
Just more cards. Right. But we don't want to trade Damian Lillard anyway. So let's hope we don't get to this.
Okay, if we were trading with Miami, what would be a haul?
I don't think Miami can offer us a haul. I don't think
Okay,
they have.
who can offer a haul and give me your?
That's what I'm saying. The teams we could trade Dame to don't have the assets.
Okay, just in general, in general.
Say we trade him to. I can't think of a team off the top of my head. A team that has a young potential all-star or two. Basically,
like the Pacers, like Tyrese Halliburton.
no, because they wouldn't do that.
The Hawks, no.
Like the Magic, maybe, and they trade us. No, because
the Pelicans. How about just the Pelicans?
Sure, if it was the Pelicans, it would be like you give us Brandon Ingram or Zion, you give us Dyson Daniels because he's like a young asset. You give us your 14th pick. You may throw in like Trey Murphy. I don't know.
But then that's just not gonna happen because Dame's just gonna have no one to play with. Then it's just
I might be absurd by thinking that's not a haul, but I don't think the Heat can make any competent offer because none of their first round picks will be valuable. It's going to be all 20s because it's Miami. It's just like LA. They're going to always be relevant. They're always going to be good. I'm personally not high on Tyler Hero at all. I don't think he would be good to have in Portland because you're just bringing in more guards. You're trading Dame. You would probably rather bring in like a young.
Well, I mean, if you're rebuilding, at that point, why don't you just reroute like Tyler Hero and go the OKC route and just accumulate picks? Like, who says you have to keep all these guys in the deal?
I guess you're right.
Like,
but
if we traded Dame, we would have the most potential.
Look, it's a futile argument because we're getting a star this year and Dame's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
who's the next player on your list?
Let's transition.
So let's stick with the Wizards and see if we could maybe go in and get. They're obviously going on a fire sale. Porzingis is an interesting player because I don't think he would cost the third pick.
Pingus?
I think
no thanks, man.
If you could go Nurk 23 and Nas, it's similar to the Ayton route, and you can get Porzingis.
I don't want Porzingis. I think Nurk's better than. Okay,
I also hate to say this. This could just be me.
I'm not a big Porzingis guy either.
This could be me just loving Nas, but I'm not dealing Nas, Nurk, and 23 for Porzingis. I'm not doing that.
All right, would you even trade Nurk for Porzingis straight up, Wes?
No. Okay, they wouldn't do that.
But I'm just saying that's.
I don't think you have to throw in Nas.
I just don't value Porzingis. Like he's not that guy. He was that guy in New York, kind of. He's not that 30-point scorer anymore. He's more offensive center.
He ever was.
he scored 31 season or 28.
He scored 30 once in his career, I hope.
I mean, yeah, career, but he's a more offensive center than a defensive center. So that's just not what I want at all. Because our offense is going to come with our Dame and then whoever our new all-star is. Even Grant's putting up 20. We don't need this guy chucking 8 shots a game as well.
I agree. I'm not in the camp of Porzingis. I think it's you only consider if it's limited assets you're trading. It's like the second guy you bring in. If it's just Porzingis, failed off season, similar to Ayton.
All right,
about the Clippers, real quick.
We can get Chingus Pingus out of the queue. Here.
Clippers.
About the Clippers. Paul George.
Now I don't know if this was a real source. This is just a lot more speculation.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Paul George. The Blazers think they could show some interest in Paul George. Now, this is an interesting one because he's also on the older side. He is over 30. He has injury history as well. He's been injured a lot the last couple of years. However, I think fit-wise, this could be one of the better fits. I think that I'm in on Paul George. I would want to trade for Paul George. However, I think just name recognition wise, I think he could be a little overrated. Like I would take Zion over him. I would take Mikal or Jaylen Brown over him. Then maybe I don't know where I rate him in terms of Siakam or Bam. But Paul George would be one of those where, yeah, you got to go win now because he's also aging and probably honestly declining as well. So
if you were to trade for Paul George, I think it's inevitable that Simons would have to be involved in that.
And it would be 3 probably. Like all these are going to have to involve 3, I would say.
I don't know how legit this source is.
Yeah, I that's why I said it's not a crazy source.
Onfiredigital.com. Never heard of it.
But normally, that's just the one that recycles other people's stuff. So if you clicked on the article, it might give you a different source. Because sometimes they
I went to the website.
Yeah.
I mean, despite there's an 11-minute video of Paul George getting game winners dropped on his head. Other than that, he is a great defender, and I think he
PG's
could.
legit. He's a legit
Yeah, he
two-way
is
guy.
legit. Two-way
Um,
player, insane scorer. I think he'd fit great in a Blazers uniform. I just think it's really unrealistic given that we haven't heard many sources from that. And if I'm a Clippers fan with Kawhi still, I mean, those are still an insane tandem that I would not want to break just yet
let
if I'm a
me
Clippers fan.
just it was actually from Yahoo Sports. It's Jake Fisher. So
That is an
it
interesting.
Okay.
it basically said Portland sources said is targeting forwards with size at the top echelon of the league's player hierarchy, someone like Adebayo or Clippers All-Star Paul George.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Probably not
obviously
as
it's more just a name drop, but in order for Jake Fisher to name drop that, there has to be some steam being built up behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Wes. Where do you put Paul George on the hierarchy of like guys you would want to trade for?
I don't know where I would rank him among guys, but I think he is fit wise. I think it'd be great. Dame,
I agree.
Sharp, PG, Grant, and then maybe you figure out a solution. It could be Nurk. Or you figure out a solution at 5. Obviously, it's hard to. I'm going to stop projecting a starting 5 because the 5. It pains me to say Nurk, but
How will he feel about that though?
I think
Bad shot.
It would be funny. I want to. I think it would be funny.
he's a professional.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it from the Clippers side. Okay, let me ask you this: the 3 and Ant for PG, is that too much?
Honestly, no, it's not.
I think it's
So
realistic.
Ant instead of
Because
PG,
at what level of player is it where that is not? I think Paul George is on the Jaylen Brown level where that's a fair trade.
I agree. I think if you look at
Absolutely.
from the Clippers' perspective, you have while Kawhi and PG are 2 of the top wings in the league, they have their Clippers tenure has been littered with injuries. They're not getting any younger. And so why would you not want a 24 point per game guard to pair with Kawhi? I mean,
Yep.
that sounds enticing to me.
And Scoot or Brandon Miller both would work there, honestly.
That's solid in my opinion. How old's
Personally, I
Kawhi?
think Simons in the number 3 pick has way more value than what people are giving it credit for.
I
Or
agree.
maybe just us.
Now, I think if you're doing this, you're trading for Paul George and you're trying to get one more serviceable bench piece because they have so many over there. Even if that's Mason Plumlee, get backup
me the
center Mason
Morris.
Plumlee. That would be great.
Give me the Morris brother, bro. That's too much. It's too much, but
He makes a lot of money, even though
I just feel like the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers would ask more. Norm, no thanks. I feel like the Clippers. Roko's on the Clippers. No way. Oh my god. I feel like the Clippers would ask too much. I think they'd be like, we want more than the Simons in the third.
I agree. They're also getting a new arena, so maybe Steve Ballmer just wants them to be really good for their first year in their arena. I don't know if that's this year or the next year, but you could also have Scoot in a new arena, so that could be interesting. 2 more teams we can talk about. We'll go Celtics first because I don't think they're doing a lot. Actually, we'll save them. Raptors. The report is that Siakam right now is easier to get than OG, which just like the Raptors make 0 sense. They just like Fred VanVleet just walked. So he's not on their team anymore. They didn't trade him at the trade deadline for some assets. OG and Pascal are on the last year of their deal this year, which is probably the reason why no one is willing to give up a ton for them because who knows if they're even staying. But
I called
think
this.
it's MJ and Pippen over there or something because
or we called this. We said Toronto shooting themselves in the foot by not dealing these guys like earlier.
The Raptors are just confusing, man. I don't understand. Why would Siakam be just that much easier to get? It just doesn't make sense. If I'm a Clippers or if I'm Raptors, if Fred's walking, I'm selling everything I got right now.
And I want to get a guard.
You got your 2019 ring.
I would not trade. Are you trading 3 straight up for Pascal? Oh, obviously you can't do that. Are you trading and 3 for Pascal? Where do you stand on that?
I'm not.
I don't think
I'm not just because I know they're desperate. Like they won their ring in 2019. It's over. Like why are they trying to they're halfway in and halfway out. Why are they trying to? It's just awkward. Like just blow it up. You're done.
The red purgatory of the NBA right now.
You got your ring. Good job. Sell your players. It's over. It was a fun run. Like I just don't understand why they would even if OGs is on the Raptors next season. That's just stupid. Like
I agree. Okay, final 2 teams. One is Celtics because we're getting mixed reports from them. One person is saying that Jaylen Brown, they really want to re-sign Jaylen Brown. The other says they're reportedly extremely active in trade talks. They don't get specific on names and that. And then a team that has had zero news come out about them, the Brooklyn Nets. I made a tweet just a couple hours ago, and I was like, nothing has come out really at all about the Celtics or Nets. And there's a lot of times where random trades just pop up out of nowhere with teams that have nothing to do with the trade market. So I don't think we can write off the Celtics or Nets yet because
I have a question. Obviously, McHale is a better fit, but would you say like a Bam or a PG would be more of a home run, like swing for the fences than McHale?
that's so tough because I think we can all agree that PG and Bam are better players than McHale. But McHale brings more of a need to the Blazers because, again, we always talk about how much offense do we really need. I think
Bam we obviously need more than just Dame. We've seen in the playoffs.
No, yeah, but McHale brings like enough of that, obviously. I think McHale is that point of attack defender that you really need because if I go next year and Grant is still guarding guards and getting cooked, like that's not what Grant's good at. Grant is a really good defender, like in help defense and passing lanes. He's not a point of attack on ball defender. That's what McHale is. That's why it's like the whole thing. If you can snag Herb Jones or Trey Murphy, do that because they can play on ball defense. I don't know what would be the biggest home run. I don't know what would be the best move, but you're not having a bad offseason if you end up getting McHale. I think the guys that I would be out of this world excited if the Blazers traded for them is Zion, McHale, JB, Bam, and probably Paul George. I think I'm asking how much we get. I don't even think I'm asking how much we gave up on any of those, honestly, unless something like they include Sharp. I think I would almost be okay with trading Anthony and 3 for all of them if we get like one more depth piece back with it or something.
So you are.
I don't know though.
I think we're proclamating here as a podcast that we are good on Siakam.
I think I'm good on Siakam, unless like if you can do and for Siakam straight up, I think I'll do that. If you get 2 players, even if Siakam's not the best one, it is the best one. If it's like say Siakam and random name Miles Turner or Siakam and upgrade at center, then I'm extremely listening. I think we're underrating how good Siakam is, but I also think people are overrating how good Grant and Siakam fit next to each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can agree more.
I feel like every trade that if a trade's going to happen and we get that all-star player, I think part of us is going to feel like we got fleeced because that's just the reality. Every team probably knows that we're desperate.
Like the Suns fans were sad they traded McHale and Cam Johnson. And who knows, they could be fleeced in the future, but they also got Kevin freaking Durant. So
yeah, they got Kevin Durant. It's just like, I don't know. It's hard. If we get that player, I feel like part of us is going to feel like, oh, we got fleeced, and it is what it is. I had another thought that tied to that. I kind of forgot what I was going to say, but
that's all right. I don't know how to phrase this correctly, but I feel like how bad or how mad do you think fans will be if I'm not even going to acknowledge the fact that we might actually take the pick. That we're going to be
odds are pretty high, man. The odds are high. We might take this thing.
We're going to be on the clock. There's a chance. There's a world in just under 2 days. We are on the clock. No deal has been made, and we are just watching the seconds just tick down, just waiting for Brian Windhorst or Woj to be like, JB to the. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be sweating.
It's going to be a fun stream. Hopefully, I want to walk out of this stream feeling good. But even if we do get so-called fleeced or whatever, if we get that all-star player, let's just feel good. Let's just feel good about it because we made contact with the ball. We swung. The ball's hit. It's soaring. We don't know where it's going to go. But it could be a pop fly. It could be a home run.
We got to hope the wind's taking it out.
And then we're going to have Dame and this new star on our team, and we're going to root for them like hard Blazer fans, and something's going to happen. Hopefully a deep playoff run, or at least so.
The last player I want to bring up, he's the best player.
The best player.
I think I know you're bringing up.
But I haven't heard nothing about him, is Joel Embiid.
Okay, that's just not happening. I don't know.
I think it all
From
is
the
predicated on what they do with what Harden does.
Sixers
But
have been
Harden's not going to
bounced.
make a decision like prior to the draft. The
Exactly.
76ers. Yeah.
The Sixers have been bounced in the second round. I don't know how many consecutive years, but it's insane. I just gotta think. He just won the MVP. There's no way any Sixers fan wants him beat God. Like that's just impossible.
No, of course not.
Oh,
But
if he could ask out, that's
you
the
could
thing.
ask out because guess what? They ain't loyal like Dame Dollar.
Yeah,
That's
But
true. I don't.
I'm not taking that loyalty for granted at all. I understand he could leave at any second.
yeah. I'm so I know we keep going back to Siakam, but I'm so just I don't know where I'm at with him. It's
I'm out,
intriguing
dude.
because talent wise, he's honestly I think he's a better talent than like Bam Adebayo, but he obviously doesn't fit as well. And then
That's a
the
take.
comps with Cody would be so great. Cody
Siakam's
would
just.
literally be on the Blazers.
Yeah, I feel like it's just Siakam. I feel like we would basically just turn into the Toronto Raptors 2.0, but then we got Damian Lillard only because little redundancy. That's all.
Yeah, you just got a
Not
bunch
tall,
of six
not a
eight.
true center, kind of. That's
I
assuming
can
Nurk's
find that.
gone. Could you start Nurk and Siakam, or just
I
no?
think
Not even a
I
question.
don't Siakam wouldn't be your center. You would have to start Grant at the three. And that's the thing why the fit would suck, just because Siakam also I don't think is really a point of attack defender, especially not on guards. You need
Yeah.
a wing that can guard the opposing team's best player that's on the perimeter.
Because right now it's
Zion
Jimmy
Herb
Grant.
Jones.
Now, obviously Zion can't do that, but the reason you're trading for Zion is because his upside is
Herb.
MVP. And
Herb.
yeah.
Herb. I want Herb.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
want Herb.
All
Jalen
right.
Brown's good defender. Real quick. It's just like the Blazers are just like 5 traffic cones during a dribbling drill. You just go one crossover, you're by Dame. Second crossover, dribbling
It's
drill, you're
literally
by
just like summer
Simons.
workouts when you're playing against them. You're just practicing dribble moves.
Third, Jeremy Grant. Fourth, whoever's R4, and then Nurk and
Dude,
layup.
you know who loves playing Portland in the offseason is Devin Booker because A, we're not double teaming, and B, we're not playing any defense either.
It's true.
Okay, I'm gonna go to each of you guys. I want you to give me what you want the most, what player you want the most, and then your prediction, what you think will happen come
Oh
draft.
my gosh. So
Who,
separate.
who
right?
wants to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
I want you to who you want the most, regardless of package, honestly. And
Okay. I want Embiid doesn't count. We're not gonna count Embiid.
Yeah.
I want yikes, it's tough. I'll go McHale. I want McHale the most with Bam as a close second. That's who I want. I don't think that's happened. I think the most likely scenario, and I'm gonna call my shot. I think Zion's a Blazer. That's my prediction.
PC's going crazy in the background.
I think Zion's a
Okay.
Blazer. It's gonna happen on draft night. There's too many pieces to the
There's
puzzle.
no smoke without fire. Heard someone say that
There's
one
too many
time.
pieces. The coach
Wow.
getting fired, Scoot wanting to be there, the Pelicans wanting Scoot. Although what doesn't make sense is CJ, Scoot, and Ant in New Orleans, but we'll ignore that.
That makes no sense. I'm gonna follow you up. I do want McHale. Just the perfect one-on-one defender on that just sizzling contract. Just beautiful. And but prediction, what do I think is gonna happen? Gotta put me on the spot here. I hate to say it. I think nothing happens.
I think you think we just take the pick.
I think we take the pick, and it's like last year. I hate that I'm saying that. I really do, but that's what I feel.
Is it Scoot? Is it Scoot or Brandon Miller?
Oh, is it that? It's probably Brandon Miller.
Brand, you heard it here first. Brandon Miller,
Doomsday.
you are Blazer.
Cody's freaking doomsday.
It's unfortunate, but if I'm betting money, I'm Brandon Miller's a Blazer, and we're running it back. So
Okay.
I hope it's not. I hope that's
And
not
you
the
think
case.
Dame gets traded or stays with that?
I think Dame stays with that. I don't think Dame is not asking out. No way.
Okay.
In any circumstance.
Before I give my prediction, Mark Stein just reported the Clippers have reportedly left rival teams with the impression that they are gauging Paul George's trade value. So that
Paul
goes.
George
even
is
more.
available, possibly.
Yes. Okay. My prediction, or what I want the most. I think what I want the most is a honest. Oh,
It's hard, dude.
it's either Zion plus Herb or Trey Murphy, or it's you split your assets and you get, say, I'll say McHale plus an upgraded center or something like that. I don't know who that is. I'm super barren. Super bare. I'm gonna say Zion with a Herb or Trey Murphy is my hope. My prediction is this is where it's like, what the heck? Where there's so many. We just talked about like 8 teams.
And yet none of them are going to happen.
What do you think's gonna happen? Are you gonna jump
Talk
on my
about it.
train? Jump on my train and say nothing?
No, you
I
can't.
think we are trading the pick, and I think it gets traded to the. I'm gonna side with West. I think the Pelicans are gonna trade for Scoot
Okay.
with a close second that we get somebody from the Raptors.
Oh,
That's just my prediction. I think most likely to get traded is going to end up being the Raptors, but I don't know if the Blazers want to go that route. I think Bam is the
What are you
longest
throwing?
shot. I think Paul George is just too randomly popping up to happen, but hey,
Yep.
could happen. I honestly think the Celtics run it back with JB, and I think the Nets think Mikal Bridges is the next MJ when in fact they really should cash in with him right now. But who's to say?
All right. That's good.
let me say one thing about the Zion situation. We've had a podcast for probably a year, but I feel like we've talked about this situation enough. We talked about it with the Raptors, and I know for sure. And honestly, who else? I think we talked about it with the Lakers too. When a player for the Raptors, it was Kawhi. For the Lakers, it was AD. When a situation comes up that is for some dumb reason, this team wants to get rid of a player, and you have the assets for that player, you have to go. You got to do it. And so that's why I think Joe Cronin he has his hands tied. He has to trade this pick. And I think the Pelicans are that team where for some reason they just, I mean, obviously there's reasons. For some reason they want to get rid of Zion, and he's 22 and he's pretty much an all-star. Has he made an all-star team?
Yeah, he was a starter. Didn't think
He was an all-star starter.
Not this year.
He was an all-star starter. He's 22. He averages 27 on insane efficiency. I don't want to gas him up, and hopefully the Pelicans GM isn't listening to our podcast right now. Zion sucks. But yeah, the Blazers have to swing. It's how the Raptors won a championship. It's how the Lakers, sure, they sold the future. And Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Josh Hart, Lonzo Ball, they at different points were big time players for a team. Josh Hart would be, everyone wants Josh Hart. Brandon Ingram is now the guy who they want to keep over Zion. Like, these situations don't come around very often, and the Blazers have the assets. And from what I've heard, from what I've read on Twitter, if Zion is dealt, Portland is one of the destinations that just makes sense. And I think you gotta go. You gotta go. And if Zion has problems and has a similar career path to Brandon Roy in the future, you dust your hands off and say, well, you tried.
Okay, you tried. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I agree.
So I think it's Zion.
Yep. If you went on, I don't know what sports book this is. This is unfortunately not on my bookie, but Zion's team for next year, the Pelicans are plus 200, which is insane.
Wow.
The Blazers are plus 250 and the Hornets are plus 450.
I will say one thing quickly. You will never catch us betting on that. We're not like bet crazy people. That's just more to put it in perspective of just what the books and what people with popular opinions think about this whole situation.
I agree.
I hope you agree.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to talk about? Do we want to discuss the stream come Thursday? Do you think that I don't know, any closing thoughts?
I'll do one for you. I will ask y'all a question. Yes or no? Does Dame retire as a Blazer?
Yes, he does. Because he's not going anywhere this season. We thought the chances of him leaving last season was like over twice as high as this season, and he stayed last season. He's
two summers
gonna
ago
retire.
after the
Or
Nuggets.
two, oh yeah, sorry, two
That's
summers
when he
ago.
literally said, like, I'm asking for a trade.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. I think
yeah.
Dame retires as a Blazer as well.
Yep.
Okay. And that's gonna require some help to be given to him. So let's do it, boys. Drafts in 2 nights. One thing we didn't talk about, but I just want to mention briefly, we also have the 23 pick.
That's a good point.
So
I
that's
think
something that
we're
can
gonna
be
bring we're gonna
utilized.
bring in a rookie, whether that's a second round pick or whether that's the 23rd pick. I kind of hope we end up getting a rookie. Hope we keep 23. We also haven't discussed the whole thing with the unlocking the Bulls picks, but that's just confusing. That could open up the fact, like, we could go full Boston Celtics in 2007, where we have our star, Damian Lillard, Paul Pierce, and we trade for Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett, and we get 2 big time players. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It can happen.
See what Joe's got up his sleeve, man.
God,
See what he's got. Swing, please.
Yeah, and every time you look up Joe Cronin, if you look up Joe Cronin on Google right now, there's a baseball player named Joe Cronin. That's a sign. That's a sign. The first person that comes, he's swinging.
He's swinging.
He's swinging.
The ball is curving downward. It's going. It's gonna be called a strike if he doesn't swing here. So
yeah, but we will be live streaming during the draft at 5:00 Pacific time. All 3 of us will be there. We're just gonna give our honest opinions on what happens. We might trade the pick. We might keep it, but come enjoy it with us and have a good time. Hopefully, we're having a good time and we're not, learning that Dame's going to be asking for a trade. But that's all we got. Make sure to use code RIPCITY if you want to go bet on MyBookie as well. Make sure to go follow our Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. The links are all in the description, because the next couple of days are going to be the wildest days of the offseason. And then after next podcast, we're going to be reacting to what we did in the draft and looking forward to free agency. Hopefully we're looking forward to free agency and going to get some vets.
I don't know if I can do it, but is there a potential to do maybe a live emergency pod after the draft on Thursday night? We can talk about it.
I think we could absolutely do it live.
Like literally on the stream, just have like a impromptu pod.
We might like restart it, because I don't want to upload our, because then that'll be like a 2.5 hour podcast, and people on Spotify would not listen to that. But maybe you guys would. We'll discuss.
Wait, you wouldn't listen to a 2.5 hour video?
No, it depends. I would. I have before.
West.
Cody, is that all you got?
Yep, I got no more. Unless you want to go off the trail, but
I don't
think there's any off the trail.
You guys don't want to chop?
I've got nothing to talk
Cody,
about.
I have a question for you. Have you talked to like anyone in the family about like the Dame rumors or anything? Like, does Steve have any takes? Does your dad have any takes?
My family, they kind of.
Oh, by the way, I told Shiloh I would do this. Shout out to PKE. Go check out PKE, another YouTube channel if you like basketball content.
PKE company, especially the TikTok, they do fun videos. My family on Damian Lillard, kind of. My dad actually thinks he should be traded.
This guy, of course he does.
It's just all the old heads, they're always like, we're unique. We got to get better.
Back in 1977, I saw a championship, and you never pick the player over the team. Go Rose City.
Yeah, exactly. All the younger people, my family, want Dame to stay. It feels like typical, just younger people want Dame to stay. Older people want Dame to get traded. That kind of seems to be the vibe, just from my family and just reading comments and everything about the whole Damian Lillard situation. But yeah.
Also, when are you getting to Montana?
I think they're getting there the 30th.
No, Cody.
No, they're getting there the 30th.
Oh,
29, I think.
Or 29th, I think, yeah.
So that time when we're there, we are.
Wow, no. Oh my gosh. Free agency is July 1st. We weren't together on free agency last year. And it'll start at 10:00 p.m. Montana time, July 31st. So
for those subscribers we
could do a live stream there and just live react to just news.
I don't know if enough things are going to happen first. Maybe we'll go Instagram live or something.
For anyone that's
definitely recording like emergency pod.
Yeah, for sure. For anyone that subscribed to the channel in the last year, every July and winter, but every July we're all together. So all three of us together in person every the first 2 weeks of July every year. So be on the lookout for that. And a lot of Blazers. This is the best time of the year for Blazer talk, probably. So.
Of course, if you want to go see Montana content, go to Cody Peterson on YouTube, but not the one that like messes with animals.
Yeah.
Or is that a retired channel? Even though the Spike Ball video has like 50K views.
Dude, that's gotta get down. It's gotta be gone. Please. I have a game.
Is it starting?
Is this off the trail or no?
Yeah, we've been off the trail here for a little bit,
Okay.
Get it?
This is officially the end of the Blazers news, guys. So if you want to,
it's still basketball related, but it's a guessing game.
If you don't care about us in our personal lives, go ahead on swipe that YouTube video away and go back to.
But leave a like before you leave.
Leave a like before you leave. That'd be great. Really appreciated.
All right. This is the NBA's top selling jerseys list, and this is based on the second half of last year. So there's 15. So how about you guys talk
one at a time?
Yeah.
What?
One at a time. How about?
Yep. We'll go back and forth, but we'll also discuss.
I want you to go. If you can go to 15, that's great. You get 3 misses.
All right, Cody.
Okay,
who's
so
the first one
together.
So first of all, this is just to clarify the second half of last regular season.
This is they took the sales probably from the second half of the NBA season. I would just assume it's probably the same as the full season. It's just a little bit of a smaller sample size, but it's not really any tricks. Really, they're just good
finals
players.
Too, like playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we got to go and beat in Jokic, Cole. First of all,
beating Jokic are on there.
Jokic is 12 and beat is 13.
It's okay. We're gonna go Luka, right, Cody?
Yes, we'll confirm that one.
Luka is 5,
and we're gonna have to go Steph here.
Yeah, Steph.
Steph is 2,
and he's gonna be on here. And if he's not, then I'm sorry, but Tatum's gonna be on there.
Tatum's 3.
I'll agree. All right,
Tatum's 3. Okay.
Could we see a Ja Morant here?
Let's hold on Ja.
Let's hold on Ja. Yeah.
Let's hold on Ja.
KD
as he holds through his 25 games.
Let's hold on KD. No.
Do we just go with the GOAT, LeBron?
Oh yeah. Sorry, LeBron. Yeah,
LeBron is number 1.
Good.
So do we go KD here now?
I think KD is a good guess. People trying to get that
because he got traded too.
Let's go KD.
KD's number 6.
Okay. Who are we holding on to?
We're holding on to Ja.
Okay.
Ja's also holding on to something.
Do we think Dame's going to be on there?
Or I think he could, but I think we hold on Dame. I think Ja goes before Dame most likely.
Crazy player.
What about
have we said Giannis yet?
Oh no, we haven't. Giannis
is number 4.
Okay.
What do we have so far? What are we missing? I mean,
you said LeBron at 1. You said Steph. Yeah. You said LeBron, Steph, Tatum, Giannis, Luka, top 5. I'm not sure if you said this guy.
I don't think we have probably then.
And then you said Jokic and Embiid.
Yep.
Okay.
So we haven't said Butler yet.
You're missing 6 through 11 and 14 and 15.
Okay. We haven't said Butler yet.
I think we can safely say.
I think Ja's up there.
I think Ja's too.
Let's say it. Ja Morant.
Ja's number 8.
Okay.
There we go.
I honestly also think we could probably safely say Dame.
I think we can.
We hold though. Is there anyone else that's like super obvious before him?
I was thinking Butler, but no one else from the Warriors. No one else. Oh, it could be AD. There's a lot of Laker fans. I think AD.
Honestly, there's probably a Knicks player maybe on there, but we're definitely not going to them now.
Let's go Dame.
Dame's number 9.
Okay.
Could go AD here.
I'm not sure if you said 6. I think you said I don't know why you haven't said him yet, but I think you accidentally said you're going to hold on to him, and I don't want you to forget him.
Did we say Giannis?
You said Giannis.
We said
Ja. No, we didn't say. Yeah, we said Ja.
Said Ja.
We said Baron. KD. We said KD.
You have not said KD.
Oh, I think we meant KD.
KD's number 6.
Yeah, I thought you're right. We didn't say him, I think, but okay. So what do we have now left?
You're missing 7, 10, 11, 14, 15.
No strikes yet.
No
Okay.
strikes. 3 strikes and you're out.
Unlike Neil Olshey.
Yeah, he's out. Not even a swing.
Dude, he's just
Let's see. Next player, we said AD or no?
You have not.
I
Do
think
we
we
say
can
Myers Leonard given he went to the Bucks?
No,
probably. I think we can say AD because it's the Lakers.
Sure.
AD is not on the list.
I didn't. Oh, I thought that was risky, but the Lakers thing convinced me.
That's one. Strike
right,
one. Strike
We
one on the
haven't said
slider.
Kawhi. I don't know if he's good. Do we say Jimmy?
We haven't said Butler. He made the finals. It has to be him. But like,
Oh, we haven't said Kyrie. He's a really popular player, and he got traded. I don't know.
that's true.
but,
Oh,
I
Dallas
think both
fans.
of them could be on it. Kyrie or Butler. I think you choose
I feel more confident with Butler. He made the finals. There's no way.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Butler.
No.
That hurts, man. It's gonna be one irrelevant player, and we're
I'm gonna say
we're
okay. I'm gonna throw my chips in.
what?
Kyrie.
Talk to me first.
Oh,
All right.
hold.
Hold. Don't go yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, hold. Okay,
Hold.
crazy shot.
No one from Detroit.
LaMelo Ball.
Like,
Talking popular
yeah, no.
players. Jaylen Brown.
Could be Zion, and probably not Zion. It
That's-
could be Jalen. I see a lot of Brown jerseys.
We said Ja, right?
I think you gotta go Kyrie over Brown though.
Trey Young.
Yeah.
Do you give me the ball and let me go score?
I was.
Do you let
Are
me
you gonna
choose?
let Cole go?
All right,
You gonna
I'm
let Cole
giving-
just go get a bucket?
Maybe like Skittles and go get a
Yeah,
bucket?
give me a bucket, man.
Kyrie.
All right, go ahead.
Kyrie's number 10.
That
Huge.
off.
All right, how many do we have left?
You're missing number 7. You haven't even
Yep,
mentioned 7 yet.
Donovan Mitchell.
You haven't mentioned
Booker?
7 yet.
Oh, it's D-Book. It's D-Book. I really like that. I'm just
Go.
D-Book. You like it?
D-Book is 7.
Oh my
Yep,
gosh.
I knew it. I knew
So
that.
how
I
much
knew
are we
that.
missing?
You're missing 11, 14, 15.
11, 14, 15.
And I will say these 3 players are probably the worst 3 players on the list.
Okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard.
Like comfortably.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get our bag on this one.
15 is extremely comfortably.
Honestly, I'm just gonna throw out names that I know aren't the best. I'm gonna say LaMelo Ball could easily be on there. A Knicks player like a Julius Randle could definitely be on there. I think we move around here. Could be like could be like a draft pick, like a Paolo. That might just be completely out of.
I'll give you
Wait.
I'll give you hints.
So we're missing what?
Don't give us too obvious hints though.
11, 14, and 15. One guy is Western Conference made playoffs.
Okay.
One guy is Eastern Conference made playoffs, and one guy's Eastern Conference missed playoffs.
I'm gonna say I think LaMelo
Okay.
Ball is on there. Let's go the missed playoffs though. It has to be a bad team in the Eastern Conference. Is it someone in the
LaMelo Ball.
Pistons?
Like the
Hold
Hornets,
up.
LaMelo Ball.
Hold, slow down.
Okay, I'm slow.
Yeah, you are slow. Is
LaMelo
there anyone on
Ball?
the Pistons?
No,
I guess
it's no one on the Pistons.
Okay, yeah, shoot. Let's go.
It's LaMelo. It's LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo Ball is 11.
Okay, this is gonna.
Guess what?
No, okay, no more hints. This is gonna be tight. We're gonna pull this one
It's
out
just
of our
literally
ass
it's one
here.
Eastern Conference and one Western Conference player that both made the playoffs.
First of all, I'm just gonna say it. I love Jaylen Brown. I really like that one.
I think that's I think, but the Knicks though.
No way, man.
Let's
no way.
focus Western Conference because clearly Eastern we're a little.
Okay.
Western Conference made the playoffs. No
Wait.
one on the Nuggets.
Wait a minute. Could it be Jordan Poole? Just could it be?
No.
Because Wes was like comfortably. Could it be Jordan Poole?
That's a good point. But it could be Julius Randle on the Eastern Conference because he's comfortably the worst player as well.
Okay, but Jordan Poole is just
Okay,
the
let's put on the Western
epitome
Conference.
of overrated and just
Could it be Rudy Gobert?
no.
Okay. Let's just go Western Conference right now. There's no one on the Nuggets.
Right.
There's no way. It's no one on the Grizzlies. Unless it's like Dylan Brooks. There's no
Yeah.
one on the Kings. But that's interesting. Like Fox.
The Kings.
Probably not
Fox.
Fox.
But Wes was like comfortably. He's
yeah,
gonna be
but
worse than
it could not
Fox.
be this player though. It could be a
Yeah.
completely different player that's comfortably.
I'd said 15 is comfortably.
No, I know, but it could be not the guy in the Western Conference that's comfortably.
That's true.
Hey, no more hints. We're gonna get this.
No one on the Lakers. Could it be like Anthony Edwards?
It's not a bad guess.
And
I think
other
none of these guys are
are
comparing to Jaylen Brown, though. I think we have. There's no way we don't go Jaylen Brown at least in one of these next
okay,
two
but
games.
obviously Jaylen Brown is. If it's Jaylen Brown, then it's someone in the Western Conference is comfortably worse.
Yes, and that's going to be either Fox or one of these.
But Wes was laughing.
It's got to be Jordan Poole or something.
It's no shot. Okay, let's just you give me a pick, Cody. I can't decide.
You want me to get you a bucket?
Go give me a bucket, Cody. V Skittles.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown's 14.
Wow.
One more.
Could it?
Get hype.
Could it really be JP?
It was more of a joke, but it's honestly not. In the more I think about
it, Cat? Because he's Big Purr. Could it be someone on the Lakers?
15 is a joke. Just think of a joke.
Okay.
It's gonna be someone that no. Fox.
When I think joke in the Western Conference playoffs,
I think Jordan Poole. And I think of Klay Thompson, because he played bad, but
I think
everyone has a Klay Thompson jersey already.
I think Dylan Brooks.
But that's Dylan Brooks, though. Yep. It's not Dylan Brooks. I think we either go in the Western Conference, we have to go Fox. It's not gonna be Fox.
Fox is not enough of a joke.
Yeah, because he was good. I think we have to go Jordan.
I think it's either Jordan Poole or it's one of the bigs on Minnesota.
Big Purr or Jordan Poole.
Or it's crazy to say, but it could be Rudy too. But I think that you go with the guy you've been thinking of this whole time, because even though this could be just like the dumbest guess ever. But this dude is comfortably worse. Wes is laughing.
West. Is it Jordan Poole?
It's Jordan Poole.
Wow. Yes. I can't believe you just got that.
Come on. I know that
when dude, Cody goes, you got to think Jaylen Brown. And could it be Jordan Poole? I was like, how did he just do that?
I'm insane. My roommate, Jordan Poole. Anyway.
All right. Okay. I got one more.
All right. One more. And then we got to wrap.
Yep. Okay.
We're over an hour for sure.
Oh, my
this was, so this is key here. Let me just run through the list. Make sure it's okay. I think these are the top sold jerseys. It says ranking the decade's NBA jerseys top sellers. So it's basically top 10 jersey sellers again, but this time it's for the 2010s, and this article was released in 2013. So I think it goes 2003 to 2013.
Or is it just 2010 to 2013? If it's
there are some guys that weren't as prevalent in the 2010s.
Okay, well, let's start with LeBron.
LeBron's number 1.
And Kobe.
Kobe is number 2.
I was about to say, Cody is not on the list.
So this is 10, right? 10.
There's 10. So you get. I'll give you the same amount.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo is number 3. No, sorry, he's number 4.
Could we throw in a Dwayne Wade?
Dwayne Wade's number 3.
Nice polls. Could be Garnett.
Now, hold up. We're talking now. Me and Cody are talking. Okay.
Yep.
We're no longer.
Yeah, this is 100%. I think from 2000 to 2013.
Okay. So think of who won championships. Like Shaq won championships.
Oh, it's Duncan. We got to throw in there.
Tim.
Yep, Duncan.
Is that a guess?
Tim Duncan.
No.
Yeah.
That just shows how bad Spurs fans are.
That's one. And Wemby, and they got Wemby, bro.
Yeah, that's stupid. I think Dirk, maybe.
Dirk's gonna be a great. Mavericks are.
But
hold.
Yeah, just patience.
Playing around.
I think like Shaq could be interesting. I think Allen Iverson is interesting if we're talking 2000s. I say we throw in.
I think we have to throw in.
If it's 2000 to 2013, it has to be Shaq. Like, there's no shot Shaq is not on there.
Shaq started in the 90s, though.
I know, but he was in he won the 4 championships in the 2000s.
I thought you said it's 2003 too.
It's 2000 to 2013.
Okay, so yeah, Shaq.
Shaq's number 9.
I'm
Okay.
also going to throw in Allen Iverson.
All right, let's do it.
AI is number 5.
Good
Okay,
pull.
That
You got the
scared
top
me a little bit.
5. You need 6, 7, 8, 10.
Do we throw out Dirk?
So it could be Dirk, it could be Garnett. I think Dirk
Could
is
be
pretty
Paul Pierce.
comfortable.
Like, is Garnett the most popular on the Celtics? He probably is.
I think we throw in Dirk here.
Could be
He
Brandon
was
Roy,
always on the
Marcus
Mavs.
Aldridge.
No. Well, actually,
You never know. Back Pac.
we can throw in Dirk. I think it's
I think
comfortable
Dirk,
here.
yeah.
No Dirk.
Wow.
All right, we have to think people more popular than that, I guess, somehow.
2000 was Lakers. 2001 was Lakers. 2002 was Spurs. Anyone else on the Spurs or Lakers? No.
No.
2004 was the Pistons. Anyone from Pistons?
No.
2005, I forget. No, that was a Heat.
Who was, wait, he was 5? No.
Heat were
Wait.
6.
We're missing somebody.
Who was 05 champions? Was
Oh,
it
I
Heat?
think it was the Spurs again.
Yeah, probably.
Then
That
the
would
Heat.
make sense. Then the Heat. Then 07 was the
Spurs again.
always the Spurs. Then
I think so.
08 was the Celtics. Okay, we haven't said any Celtics players. It's got to be
We have
Garnett.
no
or
get. We have
Pierce.
one miss left though.
Yeah. Garnett or Pierce is a good guess. 09 was Lakers. It's not going to be anyone from the 09-10 Lakers. Or it could be like Derrick Rose, you know.
That's a shout.
Could be like Derrick Rose, MVP 2011. Everyone was meat riding him back in the day.
Yeah, Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose is 6.
It's a good pull.
That was kind of scary. 2012.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know. I'm reading this article, and I don't know if it is the bona fide top 10 jersey sales or if it's this writer's top 10 picks for players that were in the top.
Okay, well, it's fine. It doesn't matter, really. It's not like I'm going to fact check these.
Because
all right, we're going to lose.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, if that's the case, then let's go throw out a. Can you give how many do we have left?
3.
Any hints with those? I guess
You said 1.
a lot.
Yeah.
Probably Garnett then.
Sure.
Garnett.
Nice.
Is what?
2 more.
7.
2
9
more.
and 10. 9 and 10 are both still active.
Whoa.
Okay, that's a big hint.
Wow.
That is huge. So these guys must have been rookies and like
Steph was drafted in 2009.
they. Yeah,
But there could be some people that are drafted even earlier than him.
are still active.
KD was drafted in like 07.
Oh my God, it's KD. I think it's KD.
Is there anyone else? There's no one from 03.
KD was 6 this year.
Could be
Imagine his first.
Chris Paul was drafted in 05 and was really good on the Hornets.
Yeah, there's a lot of options we can go down.
Let's open the door to so many more people. I think KD is one.
It's no way KD's over Chris Paul. And if he is, he's 1 behind him. Let's say KD.
KD's 9.
All right. So one more?
Which
One more.
We're about to pull out the impossible again here. He's active. That's huge. So it's either got to be Chris Paul. It's either got to be
Russell
Who else is
Westbrook, I
active?
guess. Steph.
Westbrook. It's got to be one of those 3. Are we missing anyone else?
Kevin Love.
Nope.
No. I think we throw out one of those names. I think it's either Chris Paul or Steph.
Chris Paul was drafted earlier. Steph didn't really get the ball rolling though until like
Yeah,
2013.
let's go Chris
so
Paul.
I think let's eliminate Steph. I think Chris Paul's the way to go here. Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's 10.
Look at that. That's good. That's good ball.
Good job.
That's good.
Well
That's a
done.
good thought process.
Well done.
Yep.
All right. That's all I got.
All right, that's gonna wrap up probably our longest podcast ever, but for good reason. So much to talk about. Again, I'll remind you, Thursday at 5:00 Pacific time, we will be doing a live stream for the NBA draft to watch the Blazers' future get shaped in front of our eyes. So make sure to remember that and come join us for that. Make sure to follow our Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. Links in the description. Use code RIPCITY on my bookie. And Next time you'll see us is draft night, so we'll see you guys then. Peace.